So 2J swapped 1977 Toyota Celica. We got to keep chipping away at this thing until we get it done.
And now, you're watching the Go Fast Risk Everything channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me on yet another video. So I don't want to waste any time and I just want to get right into it. So before I can start to body work the trunk, I want to fit this duckbill on here. Now also I have some holes that I gotta weld up as well because there used to be a rack back here that the owner took off. I think this wing is gonna look a lot nicer. So this is gonna sit something just like that. We gotta center it. We got a hole right here. We gotta be centered amongst the hole. And that looks good. Now we do actually have a problem with this wing as far as there's no way to mount it. So I had to come up with a solution that was going to be relatively simple and easy to implement, and also going to be plenty sturdy enough because we don't want this wing to just take off on us, ejectocito style. So what I ended up doing and what I am going to do is this right here. This is from a tail light. These are in almost all tail lights. Well, they're in probably every tail light because all you would see is the stud like this, and the way that you can remove them is by putting two nuts on them, locking the nuts together, getting a wrench on that inside nut right here, the one that's actually closer to the light, and then you can back it out and then that stud will come out. So that leaves us with this end. This is going to go in right here. And I'm going to start off with a pilot hole, drive it in there with two nuts as well. The same concept of how you remove them is how I'm going to install them, and that's going to leave us with a nice stud. So nothing to it yet but to do it. So that's looking pretty good. As you can see, I think that's going to work just fine. I mean, it holds tail lights on there, so I don't see why it wouldn't hold a wing on there. So we're just gonna get some hole drills, get this thing thrown on. Then we're gonna have the holes there for final install. We got this thing knocked out relatively quickly, really quickly. Now that we got the wing exactly where it needs to be, and how I determined where it needs to be is there's a little trunk lock on the back, there's a circle on the back of the wing, so that determined how high up or how low to have it left and right. I just did all of my work based on that. Now we have a little problem or something that we're going to have to address. If you can see the sides of the wings, I took a picture before, it doesn't fit that great. It's no problem. I'm just going to have to do a little bit of fiberglass work and filler work just to kind of get it to work out, and it's no big deal. So let's go ahead and get right into that. And in the trunk I have some holes to weld up as well, so we got a lot to do. Let's just keep it moving. the car turned around, everything's looking good, it's running good. I want to let it run for just a little while because it hasn't been on in so long, and it was nice to blow out the shop and get the car out of there. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been doing body work on this. Looks good. So now that the trunk and wing are at a pretty good point, I have to give them a little bit more attention, but I want to turn my attention to the roof as I'm waiting for some of that stuff to dry. So the roof, I started sanding on it and I realized there's so much failing clear coat, different layers of paint, and it's just been abused by the sun so badly. So as I was sanding it, it was going to take more time to try to blend all that out for me to not even trust the failing really trust the failing clear coat on there as is. So I just decided I was going to bring it all the way down to metal. I have my high-speed buffer. This is just a Harbor Freight cheap buffer. I threw 40 grit sandpaper on it and I just went to work. Now that the roof is down to bare metal, I can definitely see that there's a couple dings and dents here and there, which is standard, it's normal, it's no problem whatsoever. So the first thing that I want to do, I don't want to put any filler in those dents, I want to epoxy prime the roof. So you got to do DTM, direct to metal epoxy primer. And once I'm done priming the roof, I'm going to prime the trunk, but keep in mind that's not going to be epoxy primer, that's just going to be like the regular primer that I put over the entire car. So we got a little bit of priming to do, and then we'll see what's next. So we are moving right along. Trunk is done. Wing is pretty much figured out. Roof has been primed yet, and now I can start to work on the body work. As I was waiting for this to dry, I got to working this part of the car, this rear quarter, it's looking pretty good. It's not as rough as the other side. I also shaved some of those holes where the silica badges went. Celica, whatever. Either way, so this is looking good. The car, it's coming together. We're gonna make our way around, and I expect to be, by next week, starting to jam out the car. That's where you're gonna see the color. I cannot wait to show you what we're gonna paint this car. It's gonna be good. Alright, so lots of really good, solid progress in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the update. Now, really quickly, I wanted to invite you. One of the things that I'm trying to do, I don't know if I'd call it a New Year's resolution, I'm just trying to do it. Upload more content on all of the platforms. So all of the major platforms, I'm talking Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, it's BoatyVision across the board. Go check those out. I'm doing short edits for Facebook, just of old projects, and then I'm kind of getting some of that stuff out there, and it's some of the old fun, some of my favorite projects. I'm just compressing them into a quick 1 to 2 minute video, so go check that out over there. Leave a like on this video, comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.